What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good? What's good, Nation? It's your boy, your host with the most, Smooth T, and we are back. You are in the midst of Smooth T's We Win Sports Talk. Yes, sir. Winning is the end game. So if you ain't about to win, don't go in. So what's happening? We are here. We are back, and we're gonna get into some post-game reactions. Let's do a little work right here. Yeah. Turn the volume down a little bit. We're gonna bring in my homie, my boy. It's a rough day, but he gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? My mellow, my ace. Let's call him in. Big LT, the guru. Bring him into the show. The best wingman in the business. What's happening, Doc?
Hey, it's a great day in America, man. It's a great day.
It definitely is. So let me set this stage up right here. Definitely right now what we about to get into and discuss, we will be discussing. This is our post game to the big game recap and everything else is going on in college football. You know what I'm saying? I did the pregame this morning, and I had to do it solo, but I represented for you well. I told everybody you'd be back, but I told them you was gonna come back with your Ohio jersey on, and you show up looking like Eric Dickinson, man. I'm saying, man.
Yeah, man. In the game, man, I spilled something on it, man. So I couldn't be on here, man, with the big old drink stain on it, man. So
Got you.
Got a little wild and crazy during the game, man.
Okay. So for y'all that don't know, me and this guy, we best of friends, we brothers. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that, that's opposite about us is I'm gold blue and he is a Buckeye guy.
Oh, wait.
You know what I'm saying? And so how we normally do is whoever is the home team, you got to go to that individual's house. As I told y'all before in the pregame. So when we play at home, he got to come to my house. I got to decorate it looking like the big house. When I go to his house, he got it decorated, decked out, man. All his Ohio got it looking like the horseshoe. But today, your boy has been going through with healing over this weekend. So because I love my brother, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to pass no germs on to nobody. You know what I'm saying? And since we have the power of technology, we can still do what we do, still conversate, still communicate. You know what I'm saying? And we were just gonna chop it up this way. So I didn't get to make it down to the South. He the Sultan of the South. I'm the King of the North. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get to make it down that way. So we chatted on the phone, but hey, we talking about what just happened in the land of Buckeye and in the horseshoe. So if y'all don't know, we was how many 23 point underdog to win, but my gold blue stand victoriously four in a row to those the school in Ohio Buckeyes. We pull it out 13-10, man. And I'm just gonna be quiet for a second. I'm gonna just relish in it because you know what I'm saying. We had some bad years, but hey, we up right now. So L, how you felt about that game, man? Go on, talk to me now. Talk to the people. We want to know.
Yeah, so I mean, this is 4 in a row. So it's like I kind of called it. I think I said on one podcast, I talked about what I call the Timmy Biaka Batuka game, where we were heavy favorites, and Tim Biaka Batuka ran wild on us for like 200 plus yards. It wasn't that type of game today, but I always say a close game favors the underdog, and the shootout favors the favorite.
Right.
And so I knew going into that fourth quarter when the game was close that it was going to be a problem. And I just had that feel going into the week. So my reaction is, as a football person that's been following this game for over 40 years, I just kind of felt it. Something like this could happen. Now, in terms of specifics in the game, I don't know what game plan we drew up, but we played right into the few strengths that team up north had on us. We played right into it. And Joel Klatt, who announced, one of the announcers of the game, even said it, that up front, they had probably the best front four, definitely the best two defensive tackles in college football. So the fact that we were trying to run the ball down their throat, pretty much up the middle between the tackles, I think myself and all Ohio State fans were clearly confused and befuddled. And it wasn't until the second half where they tried to open the game up, and that's when you saw that we moved the ball. However, you had already given them confidence. And, at that point, once the underdog has confidence, they become a tough team to beat. So those are my initial takes on it. I mean, I kind of saw this coming. We can get into more details. I'm sure you want to comment on it as well. We can get into more details because a lot of people, the phone lines and the social media lines been blowing up. A lot of people calling for Coach Dave's head, the OC's head. They call it kicker's head. So we can get into all that once you. I'm sure you got something you want to say about it, though.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? I didn't start thinking about the fact that, keeping my feelings out of it. I didn't start thinking about the rivalry aspect of it until me and you got to talking last week. And but even then, I was still like, man, because see, you got from day one that $20 million roster that Ryan Day got. When I seen that roster and what y'all had, I was telling people, hey man, we're not gonna beat them this year. And I said y'all gonna win the championship. I said Ryan Day don't buy himself a championship, which he and his, you know what I'm saying, no shade, because this is the era of NIL. Texas did the same thing. Oregon doing the same thing. Georgia, I think, had maybe 15 million, you know what I'm saying? But so when I seen that, and then I knew what we had lost, I was automatically like, man, this ain't I'm gonna be bumping my chest, you know what I'm saying? So and one thing I know is the quarterback play that we have had this year has not been good, and it showed up. It showed up today, even when we had a point to where we were in the red zone, and I had been screaming for play action the whole game, and when we finally did the play action, he threw the ball, and number 33 just went up and snatched it out the air. I mean, it was a wide open touchdown, but I was like, man. See, this is why we need Bryce Underwood. But when I started looking at it, I was like, man, and I was listening to Fox Sports this morning. They had Charles Woodson on there, and everybody, except for Charles, had said we didn't have a chance, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, okay. Looking at the rivals that we've had and thinking about how even with, my Falcons and Saints rivalry, and I said that this morning, I was like, man, if we can keep it close and play our type of ball, then I felt like we could do something good. Now, mind you, I felt like y'all front four, y'all got a great front four too, man. That's really dope as far as trying to run up the middle. And every time Alex Orji came in, he did one run that was the smartest run I've seen him do. Because every time he run and he do the same thing, he get the ball. He'll wait, and then he just run up the middle. Okay, you can't do that. Everybody know you're going to do that. But this one time, he started running the middle, and he spun off and went to the outside. And when he went to the outside, 28 yards. I'm like, come on. I was like, thank you, Alex, finally. So every time they brought him in today, I'm like, man, come on. They know what you're going to do. And even with Khalil Mullins, even though he had 115 yards rushing, Donovan Edwards went down injured. We didn't have Love. We didn't have Loveland, and we didn't have Johnson. But every time we ran up the middle, man, it was hard treading. So I was like, come on, man. They know what we're doing. We got to do the same thing. We got to do something different. Excuse me. We got to change it up a little bit. And one thing that saved us was our defense, man. Our defensive line showed up and putting pressure on you guys' quarterback. And our corners that we had, they were pretty decent too. Because Will Howard just threw one, and it was a pick six almost. And I'm like, man, okay, we got a shot if we just keep it close. But even then, I wasn't mad. Today, I was like, if we win, hey, man, this is a great season. You know what I'm saying? Because we always talk about it, man. If both of us went was 0-10 coming to this game, if whoever win this game, this make your season. You know what I'm saying? So we got the bowl game last week against Northwestern, and then we won the big game today. Sharon Moore just solidified himself. He 2-0 against the Buckeyes right now, and Ryan Day sitting at a 1-4. So, you know, let's talk about that right there. How you feel? What do you think is about to happen to Ryan Day with this loss? Do you think, are y'all gonna keep him? Do you think? What you think?
Well, there's going to be a lot of talk about his job, and I've already addressed a few posts on Facebook and Instagram already. I'm like, unless we about to get Saban, bring Urban Meyer or Tressel back, you got to keep him.
Yeah,
I would even say sign him to an extension. It reminds me of the exact same thing that happened when Jim Harbaugh was at Michigan, and he lost like 6 or 7 in a row. Nobody is big enough to come in here and get the job,
right?
Except for those 3 that I mentioned. So if you're not getting one of those 3, you might as well keep him,
right,
and let him grow. Because look what Harbaugh did. He eventually won the big one. So it's like, unless you got somebody waiting in the wing that you know is going to be better than him, which I don't see it. There's nobody else out there aside from those 3 legends that can come in here and bring the clout to the situation like we need. Because you see what's happening at Alabama right now. Saban left, and you're going to get a lot of decommitments, and the program is going to suffer for a couple of years.
Right.
With Day, a lot of people don't realize it, at least with Day, when he transitioned in for Urban Meyer, we haven't really fallen off.
Right.
We're always in the conversation for the playoff or the national championship. We're always right there.
Right.
You know, we'll just have like that one loss that'll take us out of it, but we're in it, and we're still in it. Because if you can have Alabama with 3 losses at number 13, where are you gonna put Ohio State with only 2 losses? And we lost to the best team in the number 1 team, and we lost to our most hated rival. So, I mean, we're still in the conversation. We still should be one of those top 12 teams moving forward. So, but do I think it's going to be, to answer your question, do I think people are going to be calling for his job? Oh, yeah. But unless you get in Saban, Urban, or Tressel, I think you keep him.
Right. No, I agree, because the moment you said that, that's what it reminded me of. Because I remember when we was suffering them 7 in a row, you know what I'm saying, from y'all with Jim Harbaugh. And when we got Harbaugh, I was like, oh, you know, I'm putting on social media, hey man, it's changing, boy. Here we go. We ain't about to lose no more. You know what I'm saying? And man, we sure was taking them. We was taking them blows, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I was one of the ones like, man, if Harbaugh don't win this time, man, he got to go. But then it made sense. Who you gonna get? Who do you have that you can get that has a big enough name that can uphold the tradition and hold that brand? Not to mention, when Urban Meyer stepped down and y'all got Ryan Day, that didn't surprise me, because I'm like, man, I don't care nothing about it. It wasn't like the other time when Jim Tressel left and y'all got the other coach for that year. It wasn't like that, because Ryan Day was one of y'all lead recruiters when Urban Meyer was there. Exactly. So I'm like, they're not missing nothing. They just missing Urban Meyer. Ryan Day is the one who's always contacting the recruits, so he still know about the brand. So I'm like, nah, I'm not falling for that. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you, man. You know,
and he was handpicked by Urban Meyer, so
right.
that lets you know right there. Now, what I will say is there are some things that will have to change because somebody's head gonna have to roll, and I think I'm pointing at the offensive coordinator.
Chip Kelly.
Kelly is gonna have to roll because for him, he was supposed to come in here and take our running game to another level because he's known for running the ball. But to me, he didn't make a difference.
Right.
And I don't think it didn't fit our personnel either. Like we have to in our league, based off of the receivers that we've been recruiting real great, we got to be a team that has a quarterback that can throw, but we got to have a scrambling quarterback. The most successful Ohio State quarterbacks in recent history have been the mobile quarterbacks like J.T. Barrett, like Justin Fields,
Braxton
Miller. You know, these guys are all mobile. Now, you do have, C.J. Stroud is not known for being mobile, but he can move around in the pocket a little bit, you know. Yeah. Even Craig Krenzel, when we beat the U, Craig Krenzel, a lot of people don't realize he was a mobile quarterback, you know. So we have to have a guy that can get it done through the air and with his feet because it just makes you that much more diverse. So I feel like Chip Kelly might have to go, and they might have to do like that team up north did and go find the best kicker they can. Like y'all kicker, they said came from Arkansas State.
Man,
we're going to have to go whoever the best kicker is in the nation, go find them and get them and sign them up because that kid who was kicking today, he didn't have it. He didn't have the juice.
That guy, by the way, Fielding, Jay Fielding, yeah, he got a man. I hate it for him because I hate. So look, yeah, come on, y'all. He's a kid. Don't be calling. Don't be giving no death threats, man. It's still just a game, man. You know, he's sitting in the corner feeling real bad by himself. You know what I'm saying? So he don't need no death threats. You know what I'm saying? People that's over fanatic. You know, calling them out, man, trying to hurt them. You know what I'm saying? But nah, definitely, man. That kicker that we got, man, that we pulled him out of the portal, man, and man, when I say he was a blessing because he got an iron leg, man. And to get back on what you were saying about Chip Kelly, number one, I don't have no love for Chip Kelly anyway, man, because he was a part of that regime that broke up my Eagles when the Eagles had Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson, the Shady McCoy, Jeremy Macklin, that whole offense. When Andy Reid left, they brought in Chip Kelly, and Chip Kelly supposed to took that to the next level, man. And it'll take you hearing from Shady McCoy and Deshaun Jackson on how they felt about Chip Kelly after that. But I think he destroyed that team right there. So I ain't really had no love for Chip Kelly, you know. So the fact that if he got to go, man, yeah, he'll probably. I think he'll be the first one that they move up out of there, or Chip Kelly might get gone somewhere. Somebody might try to get him another little job as a head coach somewhere. But definitely,
I almost felt like that was what was going on today. Like as I was getting text messages from other Buckeye fans, and I think even you, I'm like, does our OC and our quarterback and our kicker, are they point shaving? Because I'm like, I think Chip Kelly was lining himself up to be the next coach because he knows they lost that game. They was gonna want his Ryan Day's head, so he like, I guess I'm the next man up. But our quarterback, I felt like made both his picks were, to me, unacceptable. It looked like you were staring right at the man when you made those kicks. And then, like I said, I mean, we're Ohio State. We can get the best at every position. So you got to go fishing. You got to go find the best kicker.
Hey, what? Since we on that quarterback subject, that's one thing I thought about was that I was like, man, hold up, man. We don't made it through Braxton Miller. We don't made it through C.J. Stroud, who C.J. Stroud is a better quarterback than Will Howard to me. So I'm like, man, if we made it through C.J. Stroud, ain't no way we can let this dude just rip us up. And I mean, I know our defense was really good when we played against C.J. Stroud, but I was like, man, this dude, he was at Kansas State last year, so we can't let him rip us up. What happened to the freshman that y'all got from that came out of Georgia? Is he just in waiting?
So Aaron Nolan is just a numbers game. So what you have is after once Will Howard graduates, Aaron Nolan was our top quarterback that we brought in. But then when Saban left, that Sayin kid was a 5-star recruit from Alabama. And so we flipped him when Saban retired. And so now you got a 5-star quarterback in Sayin and a 4-star Aaron Nolan. But then we also signed the top quarterback in the 2020, I want to say the 2025 class, a 5-star St. Pierre.
Well, now we got the top picking for the 2025, which is Bryce Underwood for that graduating class.
Yeah. So I have to check my sources. I forget what year he is, but maybe he's 2026. Yeah, I know it's St. Pierre.
Okay.
So he's a 5-star recruit. So what you're going to have next year, you're going to have, one of those guys, Nolan or saying, they're even saying Devin Brown, the backup that came in for like one play today, number 30. Right. So they're saying those are 3 guys are going to fight for it. And then whoever wins the top 2, and a lot of people are saying Aaron Nolan will be the odd man out, and he'll probably end up in the transfer portal. So I hope they give the kid a fair chance because I feel like he's the most mobile of the 3 guys.
Right.
He can get it done passing as well. So we'll see what happens, man. But I work with I believe one of his godparents or somebody, a good friend of the family. So that person kind of keeps me updated on what's going on with him.
Right.
And it could go both ways. It's looking 50-50. I'm told that he loves it. He loves the culture and he likes it up there.
Right.
I know he's ready to play though.
And then signs of a quarterback that's going to be good is one that doesn't mind waiting and learning, because when you understand, when you get the keys of that brand, you know what I'm saying, you got to be able to produce. You know what I'm saying? So for him to be able to sit under, say, a Will Howard and just see how things can go, I definitely, me being a Go Blue fan, I definitely don't want to see him, light us up. But you know what I'm saying? But I definitely, I'm an advocate for the black quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I'm unapologetically advocate for the black quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Because of where we've been. If you haven't seen a documentary about Michael Vick, Evolution of the Black Quarterback, go check it out on Prime.
Yeah, that was good. That was
good. But so, I definitely, you know what I'm saying, want him to be successful. I know because we got a couple guys, Jaden Davis and Jaden Dangle, in the waiting that I guess they just didn't cut it, because with us having Davis Warren and Jack Tuttle, Alex Orji, of course, will stop to be the guy. But now with Bryce Underwood coming, that's Sharon finally getting his quarterback, because everybody else wasn't people that he had handpicked. So it's going to be funny to see what happened with the transfer portal with us also, because they know Bryce is coming in. But whether or not he's going to be ready, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's already, we said 6'4", 240, 215, something like 215 to 220. So he's a big guy, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see, what he's doing, because I'm trying to think. Alex Orji is he's 235, 6'3", but I was trying to think, this ain't his last year? I'm not sure. I got to check. But I'm baffled at how we didn't handle how we mishandled the quarterback situation, which I told the people earlier today. When you think about it, though, when Jim Harbaugh left, he left us in a situation where by the time he left, we couldn't get anybody out of the portal because the portal was already done. So Sharon Moore just had to deal with what we had to deal with and try to work it out. So that's why they went hard going after Bryce Underwood, because he didn't want to be in a situation again, because by the time Harbaugh had said he was going to leave, it was too late to try to grab somebody out the portal. So we'll see if Bryce can come in and do what he's supposed to do. Hey, man, we might have about two or three more of these running, because I felt like this for us. How Deion said last year when Oregon beat them, he's like, "You better catch me now." That's how I felt about us. I was like, man, If you're gonna catch us, you got to catch us now, because when we start bringing in people like Bryce Underwood and people that's gonna want to come play with him, you know, we still gonna be a force to reckon with. So I'm super excited about what happened today. I'm surprised, you know what I'm saying? But hey, I felt like how we always talk about it. Our season is made. You know what I'm saying? Whatever bowl game we get, we got the bowl game. We 7-5. You know what I'm saying? And we one of the only ones that can say that we went toe to toe and beat y'all. You know what I'm saying? Even though it was a rivalry game, you know. But I felt like our defense showed up very well. We held your running backs, man. They you know, Judkins had 46 yards. Henderson had 21 yards. Will Howard had 175 yards passing, but 2 interceptions. You know, and so I felt like our defense really was strong because our quarterback play still was weak. He only had 62 yards passing, and he had 2 interceptions. You know, so that was definitely our running game. We played straight up old school Michigan football. It wasn't like it wasn't like the Timmy Biaka Matuka game, you know what I'm saying? But it was enough, you know, and our defense held us down, which it's that mantra of defense wins games. You know, when you know defense wins games, because that's what it did for us today, man. So big up, man. You know, I'm excited. So got a whole nother year sending you text messages like you used to do me.
So where do you put? Who are your top 12 teams then? Like, do you feel like Ohio State with 2 losses?
Yeah, y'all get in
top 12.
Yeah, y'all. I think y'all get in. Now, what this game did do, because we played spoiler, it kept y'all out of the Big Ten championship, though.
Right. So we're gonna have to get like an at-large bid, pretty much.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get invited.
Yeah, I think, man, it opens up a lot for Indiana though too, because I didn't think Indiana. I didn't cover that last week, but I didn't think Indiana, just because they lost to y'all, people was just like, oh, they're not going to be in. I felt like Indiana still has played good enough this year to be in the playoff, because I mean they was 10-0 before they got to y'all. And so, come on, you got them talking about a 9-3 Georgia, what's Georgia 9-3 Georgia team?
Almost. They almost lost to Georgia Tech.
9-2 Georgia team, but Alabama team with 3 losses. So, and it's crazy because you go back to Alabama got the same record as Colorado. Georgia almost had the same record as Colorado, but yet everybody was saying how much Coach Prime couldn't coach. Well, we know that's a lie, you know. So it's gonna be real funny, you know, to see how everything pans out now. Oregon still sits atop of the food chain. Matter of fact, while we thinking about it, did you get to see that Georgia Tech game last night?
It's crazy. I saw parts of it. I had company over. We had family over. But when we went upstairs, it was like 5 minutes left, and Georgia Tech was winning 27-13. They were up by 14.
Right.
Wow. I was like, and they had the ball. I was like, oh, it's over. And then I wake up this morning, and I see Georgia wins in 8 overtimes. I'm like, mind blown.
Right. Now you can tell the people, and you can be my witness, because on throughout the year on how highly I've spoken about Georgia Tech, and how, you know what I'm saying, when we was talking about playing the game, you know what I'm saying, I let them all know we gamers, you know what I'm saying. But the 3 teams I play with on college football is Colorado, Michigan, and Georgia Tech. So when Georgia was playing them, that didn't surprise me because of the pedigree that they have, and because of how they've played all year long. I felt like Georgia Tech was going to bring them a challenge, and they did, man. They gave Georgia all they could want. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't doing no more, like I did say earlier, no moral wins for them, but to go 8 overtimes, Georgia Tech should have won that game twice. And I felt like Haynes King sometimes your best thing can be your worst thing sometimes. And what I mean by that is because he's a good runner, sometimes when he sits back in the pocket, his clock will go faster and he'll just take off instead of letting something develop. Some of the times when he was making great passing plays, he let the play develop and he was able to get it off. And there were times where if he'd have just let that play develop a little bit longer, he could have got it off. But because in his mental clock, he was thinking, oh, let me run because he's a good runner, that he would take off. And mind you, he had a phenomenal game. He played very well. But I think sometimes that you can get in your own way with that mentality sometimes. And that's some of the same things that kind of played Michael Vick a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, was that sometimes your best quality can sometimes be your worst quality. Because as a quarterback, sometimes we still need you to be a quarterback. We still need you to be able to throw the ball. Yeah. And he had good enough weapons to throw the ball. And sometimes he just doing too much, just doing a little bit too much of trying to make it happen with his feet. Where sometimes he would try to make it happen with his feet, and he got Hayes right here on the check down that if you dumped that to him, Hayes gonna get a quick 7 to 8 yards for the first down. You know, and so I felt like Georgia Tech on that way home from Athens, that 2.5 hour ride, man, it wasn't no celebrating. I'm angry if I'm Georgia Tech because we had them. You know what I'm saying? But what they did show Georgia was this ain't the same little brother team that you used to beating up on. We here. You know what I'm saying? We here. So that was a good one. Then what you thought about the Colorado game?
Total domination. Total domination. It was good to see. Shedeur do his thing, his last home game, and Travis Hunter, I felt like cemented he should win the Heisman, but we know he should at least get that invite for sure. Just an all-around good game, man. Like, it was a good bounce-back game just for Colorado in general after losing the way they lost last week. They got a team in there they should have beat. They did what they were supposed to do, right. And it was good that they did that. And again, I said it in one of our previous podcasts, the playoffs needs to figure out a way to get Shedeur and Travis into the playoffs. Now, I know a couple teams had to lose today, like Arizona State had to lose, and they're winning right now. And I think like two out of three teams.
Iowa State and BYU. BYU plays later on.
Yeah, Iowa State plays later against Kansas State.
And then BYU plays Houston later on tonight.
Right.
So I know Deion said, he ain't watching no games, wishing nobody to, that they would lose. But I am. I'm gonna be honest with you, because I want Colorado to make it to the Big 12 championship. Right. You know what I'm saying, to play that game, and then whatever comes after that. You know what I'm saying. But I that's what I appreciate about him, because which goes to show, man, people just have the wrong idea because he doesn't have a hate mentality. You know what I'm saying? A haterade mentality where, I felt like, and what's crazy, because, Kansas got the brakes beat off of them by Baylor, man. 45-17, dog. The same Baylor team that Colorado beat, Kansas could not beat, which lets you know everything Prime said about them looking too far ahead and believing what the media was saying was true. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a Baylor team who you was beating. They put up 45 against Kansas, and Kansas only put up 17 against them. The same Kansas team that Colorado put up more than 17 points last week against Kansas. So that to me, even if I'm Colorado, man, I'm looking at that game like, man, we wasn't focused. We should have beat Kansas. We wasn't focused.
Yeah, and it just goes to show all the little things you can say about strapping it up. That's why you play the game. Some teams are just better matchups than others.
Yeah.
Things come into play. In addition to the fact, I definitely feel like those young boys were looking past Kansas, trying to get to the final home game. I think they just assumed they was going to go in and push that team around. And then also, when you're a program like Colorado, where you have a lot of stars, you have a coach that's vocal, and the spotlight is on them, people are going to bring their A game. It's like it's their championship.
Right.
If they know they're not going anywhere, they're going to bring their A game just for you because they're like, okay, we want to make these boys feel us. We want to shut these boys up. We want to do this. We want to do that. So that's pretty much what they've been getting. And I mean, Kansas got the best of them. So now we got to wait and see. But either way, it's been a successful campaign this year for Coach Prime.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's got his quarterback of the future coming in, and there are already other big time players getting in there right now. So they're going to still be competitive.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, one thing is about that Kansas game, Neal, the running back, he had 20 touches for 133 yards rushing and one touchdown.
He's a
So
dog.
he definitely, man, he definitely a dog, man. It's just Baylor man, they showed up. Baylor they had two running backs. One, Washington had 192 yards rushing with 2 touchdowns. Then they had Pendergrass had 104 yards rushing. So then their quarterback had 310 yards passing with 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
So Baylor opened up a real big can on them, man. Like they came to play. And this, of course, against Colorado, that was Kansas' senior game. That was the last game at home, and this was Baylor's last game at home. So something about them them last home games, man, that means something.
Yeah.
So they came ready to play, man. It's just I just look at it and be like, man, Coach Prime was right, man. Y'all was feeling yourself, man. Y'all wasn't focused because they could have definitely beat Kansas. You know what I'm saying? So that's a that's a lesson learned. But hey, like you said, it's still a successful season. You know what I'm saying? You also had Tennessee overcoming Vanderbilt 36-23. Vandy was actually winning that game up early and came back. Tennessee came back and pulled it off, man. So that was Vandy's senior game also. So we gonna see what happens with this BYU game versus Houston. Just on GP because Boise State is set to play against either UNLV or Colorado State for their championship game for their conference. But I'm thinking it's going to be UNLV. But I'm curious to see that game because I like what UNLV's been doing with Malik Williams since the other quarterback left. So with UNLV, I'm curious to see because when their quarterback left because of that NIL deal that went sour, he thought he was leaving and they weren't going to be no good, and UNLV has turned out to have a really good season. They're 9-2 right now, and they play Nevada tonight, but they're getting ready to possibly play against Boise State for their conference championship. So I'm curious to see how that's going to unfold also. So definitely between that, Oregon and Washington tonight, Kansas State, Iowa State. Those are some pretty decent games. Of course, Florida State versus Florida. Those are some definite some battles, in-state rivalries.
Right.
So it's gonna be a good night in college football. Got Alabama Auburn going right now. Auburn is down. Alabama's up 7-3. So in the second quarter, USC Notre Dame 7-7. So Arizona State is just manhandling Arizona. That's who we needed to lose. But if we can still get BYU or Iowa State to lose, you know what I'm saying? Colorado can still get up in there.
Yep.
So, any closing remarks, man, before we shut it down, man?
No, man. I mean, I think that was the big thing, the big game. And trying to see how this college playoffs is going to shake out. Hey, I tip my hat to your Atlanta Hawks.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
They ahead and got us again. I guess they got our number this year.
Oh,
right now, so can't they beat us at our own game.
Yeah. we got that back to back, the home and home game. So and that was big because that was for the NBA Cup. That was one of those NBA Cup games. So that put the Hawks in group play to where now they can go into the elimination round. So
Okay.
that's big, man. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to come back and revisit. You know what I'm saying? This NBA season. You know what I'm saying? Because let's see. Jalen Johnson had 20. Trey had 21. Hunter had 23. What did Ricochet do? Ricochet had 11. Mobley had 24. Garland had 29. Mitchell had 12. So score ended up being 110 or 1-on-1 to 117. So man, hey man, that was good for the Hawks, man. They needed that one, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So because a lot of people been calling for Trey's head. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna front. I've been one of them, just because I felt like certain things that should have happened that didn't happen, and it's on his watch. So
yeah,
but yeah, man. So hey, my guy, definitely appreciate you falling through with your boy, man. We gonna wrap it up this time, man. Again, y'all, man, like and subscribe, man. Help us run these numbers up, man. We coming back with with more content, man. More guests. You know what I'm saying? We just getting our feet wet. You know what I'm saying? But they say, the wet come with the water. You know what I'm saying? So we just dabbing our toes and getting ready, man. So we dive it in, man. Doing this thing, man. So we definitely appreciate your support. We definitely appreciate you listening to us and showing up, man. Definitely. Thank you for joining us this week, man. This is your boy, your host with the most smooth T, with the best wingman in the business, Big LT the Guru. You know what I'm saying? Off of Victorious Wolverine Day. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I should do some hail to the victors valiant, hail to the conquering heroes, hail to Michigan, the champions of the West. Go blue. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see y'all next year.
So look, man, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate my boy, man. I'm gonna be in touch with you. We'll be back, man, with some more episodes, man. Definitely. Appreciate y'all for showing the love. Once again, it's your boy, your host with the most smooth T, with Big LT the Guru, man. Check it out, man. Remember, winning is the end game. And if you ain't about to win, don't go in. Peace.
Peace.